Fani Willis's boyfriend Nathan Wade is screaming poverty after he lost his $600,000 a year job. Now, Nathan Wade is pleading poverty since losing his prosecutor role in the Donald Trump election fraud case and trying to avoid paying his estranged wife alimony, new court papers show. Now, Wade was forced to step down as special prosecutor in the Georgia case following the revelation of his affair with District Attorney Fani Willis.
Hey, Mika, we have a decision from Judge Scott McAfee of the Fulton County Superior Court. In a 23-page decision this morning, he finds that there is not an actual conflict of interest that was proven by the defendants here, but he also finds that there's significant appearance of impropriety that infects the entire current structure of the prosecution team. And therefore, he gives Fani Willis a choice. She can either choose to remove herself and her entire office from the prosecution of this case, or she can determine that Nathan Wade, the special assistant district attorney who has been helming the leadership of this case, can himself be removed from the case, which would allow her and the remainder of the Fulton County District Attorney's Office to go forward. Mika, that's a victory for Fani Willis here. But that having been said, despite the fact that she has been given an easy choice here, notwithstanding that, there is plenty here for the Trump folks to exploit. And in particular, he finds that there was a failure to be as completely honest with the tribunal as these folks should have been. The quote that is really sticking in my mind right now is when he talks about the testimony of Nathan Wade and Fani Willis. He basically says that they did not put concerns that were raised by the defendants to rest, that while the defendants did not prove that there was an actual conflict of interest and meet their burden of proof, an odor of mendacity remains. That's a direct quote from page 16 of this opinion. And
head back actually to Georgia, where the special prosecutor there, Nathan Wade, who we just mentioned, has actually resigned from Donald Trump's Georgia election trial.
Now, Wade says that he can no longer afford to honor the terms of a temporary agreement he reached with wife Jocelyn Wade less than 3 months ago, according to the filing. With his income from the employment of special prosecutor no longer coming in, and with income from his private practice being diminished, he is no longer able to meet the financial obligations set forth in a temporary order. This is what Wade's divorce attorney, M. Scott Kimbrough, wrote in papers filed Monday. Now, this begs the question, how much did he make over that time while he was special prosecutor? Check it out.
We're keeping our attention on the money and documents we can independently corroborate. We spent the last 24 hours looking through Fulton County payment logs and discovered records suggesting Wade was paid substantially more than two other special prosecutors on this case.
Without naming him, Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis addressed the controversy surrounding special counsel Nathan Wade while speaking before the congregation at Big Bethel AME Church over Martin Luther King Day weekend.
I appointed 3 special counsel, as is my right to do. Paid them all the same hourly rate. They only attacked one.
While that may be true, public records obtained from Fulton County show the amount each were paid differed substantially. Records indicate the DA's office paid special prosecutor John Floyd's law firm, Bondurant, Mixon, and Elmore, close to $73,000 between 2022 and 2023. Special prosecutor Anna Cross's law firms, Cross Kincaid and the Cross firm, were paid a total of roughly $90,000 during the same years. Over the same time period, Fulton County records show the DA's office paid the law offices of Nathan J. Wade more than $650,000.
Yeah, he was pulling in major dollars. Now, during the investigation into his affair, it was revealed that he made over $700,000, which you just saw, while working for the DA, and he had spent thousands on lavish trips for himself and Fani to the Caribbean, Central America, and California. We saw that in real time.
We got some breaking news on the sordid tale of Georgia DA Fani Willis and her star-crossed lover, Nathan Wade. Now, Wade just testified that he paid for vacations he took with Willis using his, quote, business credit card, and then was reimbursed by her in cash. Take a look.
All I needed. You said in the affidavit that you roughly shared travel, though, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this roughly sharing travel, you're saying she reimbursed you?
She did.
And where did you deposit the money she reimbursed you?
Oh, it's cash. She didn't give me any checks.
So she paid you cash for her share of all these vacations?
Mr. Schaefer, you'll step out if you do that again.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so all of the vacations that she took, she paid you cash for?
Yes, ma'am.
And you purchased all of these vacations on your business credit card, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you included those in deductions on your taxes, correct?
No, ma'am.
No, you did not.
Very bad. So we all know that, you know, I paid for this on my credit card, but then I was reimbursed in cash is a very convenient and implausible excuse.
Right. There's two things there. One is it's difficult to trace, so you can't really verify that she did reimburse you. Therefore, it stands that it's possible a corruption scheme. Or two, there's still something nefarious about the idea that you would need to be reimbursed in cash. These seem like not insignificant amounts of money.
The story goes on to say, however, he is now seeking an emergency hearing to lower his spouse's support expenses and the financial obligation he agreed to pay Jocelyn in a temporary settlement reached January 30th in Cobb County divorce case. Now, Wade's filing comes in response to Jocelyn, his wife of more than 20 years, accusing him last week of refusing to pay child support for their 2 kids, money for rent, and for her urgent medical procedures. Now, Jocelyn claims she spent all her money, which she would have used for the much-needed surgery, on their son and daughter after Wade abruptly cut them off, telling them to get the money from your mother, the papers claimed. Now, Jocelyn Wade has alleged that she was left with less than $1,000 a month and that she can't work because of her declining health. She also said that Wade had promised to financially take care of their son, who was pursuing a pro soccer career, and he was going to financially take care of their daughter, who needed rent as she prepared for the medical school exams. Now, because of all this, Jocelyn's attorneys are asking the judge to throw Wade in jail until he forks over the money that he owes them. Now, it's important to note that Wade came to the settlement to pay this money because Fani Willis was going to have to testify at the divorce. She was sleeping with a married man while he was married. So yeah, it was going to be relevant to the divorce. So this settlement actually gave Fani Willis an out where she didn't have to testify in the divorce case because of this settlement.
She's accused of an improper relationship with a fellow prosecutor, and she's being ordered to appear at his divorce proceedings. Nathan Wade is the special prosecutor hired by Willis's office to help in the case against Donald Trump. And the accusations could mean trouble for that case.
All right, so Nathan Wade, it's a curious case because when he was working with the DA's office, he made $350,000 a year. And get this, people, that's more than Fani Willis made. And she's the DA. She only makes about $220,000. He's made $350,000 a year, so he's making more than her. So obviously, there's a heavy financial incentive to keep that job, and that's why I think that they were just straight up lying about when the relationship started, because they wanted to keep this job as much as possible. He wanted to make that money, but now he's not making that money, and his wife is like, well, you still owe me that money. Just because you were balling out with Fani, you were taking her to Napa Valley in California and all these places around South America. Now all of a sudden you're crying broke after you take on a New Year's Day cruise. How much was that? So yeah, if I'm the wife, I'm like, he spent $14,000 on his girlfriend while we were married, and now he's saying that he doesn't have enough money for me and my children? Is that really how it goes? But is that enough to put him in jail? Is it enough for a man to go to court? He's going to go in front of the judge and says, yes, Your Honor, I spent $14,000 banging my girlfriend who happened to be my boss, and because I spent all that money on her, I don't got enough money to pay for the wife and kids with the money that you told me, you ordered me to give. If that was my courtroom, he'd have a problem. But let me know how you feel in the comments section. Let me know if you feel sorry for Nathan Wade. But as I gotta say it, the number one thing you should do as a man, especially if you have 2 kids, is take care of your kids. And if what she's saying is true, then I think he's failed at that. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, do all the great YouTube stuff. My name is Nate the Lawyer, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Peace.